From the Mayborn School of Journalism at the University of North Texas, this is NT Daily News.
Thanks for joining us on NT Daily TV. I'm Dante Nunez.
And I'm Kim Elgin. Olympic champion Ali Razman was the keynote speaker at the 2018 Champions for Children Breakfast held at UNT today. The annual event benefits the Children's Advocacy Center for Denton County. The Olympic gold medalist talked about her career, her experience as a childhood sexual abuse victim, and her current advocacy work on behalf of all sexual abuse survivors. Razman also added some insight and the goal for her book titled Fierce, that was published a year ago.
I wanted it to be something that people of all ages could read, like body scans.
In her book and in her speeches, Razman wants people of all ages to know that everyone, including athletes on TV, face hardships and that you're not alone.
Friday, November 2nd is the last day to vote early in Denton for the upcoming midterms. The city of Denton is providing free rides for voters and veterans. DCTA is encouraging the city's voters to come out and vote by giving them a free ride to the polls. This first-time promotion will be held on Election Day, Tuesday, November 6th.
We really want people to get out and vote. We really want to support that. So as many people as we can have get to the polls using our system is great. So we'll definitely use this year as a benchmark to what we want for future election years.
The polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and select DCTA services will be free the entire day. Free rides will be accessible on the Connect buses to the University of North Texas and North Central Texas College campus shuttles. Residents can also use the shuttles to the Denton Enterprise Airport Zone.
This actually is something new for us and something we hope to continue. And we do run a lot of these free ride promotions. For example, we actually have Veterans Day upcoming. We do that every year where we offer free rides for our veterans and military personnel to ride free.
Free rides for veterans will take place November 12th. To ride free on Veterans Day, you must have a military ID. No special identification is required to ride free on Election Day.
With less than a week to go before the 2018 midterm elections, there's a different kind of buzz around Election Day. John Lornick reports.
Candidates across the country are heading toward the final stretch before the 2018 midterm elections.
One thing you do is next Tuesday is vote.
And there's an unusual excitement in the air. More than 24 youth activist groups have scheduled a national walkout Tuesday. The goal is to get more people out to vote. And it's not just students making that push. President Trump is stumping in a number of states over the next few days, including Montana, Tennessee, and Ohio.
I think that the president's the best messenger for the party. He's had an incredible, historic first 2 years in office, and he has a great story to tell.
One of the most closely watched races is in Texas. Republican incumbent Ted Cruz is battling for his seat in the Senate against Democratic Congressman Beto O'Rourke. A lot of eyes are on the gubernatorial contest in Georgia between Republican Brian Kemp and Democrat Stacey Abrams. Members of the White House, including Vice President Pence, are campaigning for Kemp. Abrams has the backing of former Presidents Obama and Carter, as well as Oprah Winfrey. Meanwhile, in Wisconsin, incumbent GOP Governor Scott Walker is neck and neck with Democratic challenger Tony Evers.
This last week may be a game of inches, maybe millimeters, to who gets the advantage.
Which means every vote counts. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Come Tuesday, all 435 seats in the House of Representatives are up for grabs, as are 35 seats in the Senate and 36 governor seats.
Party lines may be drawn from the upcoming midterm elections, but there's one thing Republicans, Democrats, and independents agree on: the lack of civility in Washington, D.C. A new NPR PBS NewsHour poll shows the public believes discourse has gotten worse since Donald Trump was elected president. The poll comes less than a week after 10 pipe bombs were mailed to top Democrats and Trump critics, and just a few days after a man opened fire in a Jewish synagogue in Pittsburgh, killing 11. The poll shows 40% of Americans blame Trump for the negativity in Washington, and 29% blame the media. Although the results are divided down party lines, one thing that both sides of the aisle can agree on is that the overall tone in Washington has gotten worse since Trump entered office.
Arlington Mayor Jeff Williams has declared the city in a state of disaster due to widespread flooding. The city is warning residents of the possibility of a dam breach on Prestonwood Lake. A spokesperson told the Fort Worth Star-Telegram the dam was in the early stages of a collapse because of erosion. The city is monitoring the situation and is prepared to remove flood debris and close roads if needed. Residential property damage is not expected.
The General Motors assembly plant in Arlington is going green. The home of GM's large SUVs like the Chevrolet Tahoe and Suburban will be powered by wind energy. The assembly plant is partnering with the Cactus Flats Wind Farm in East Texas and Mirasol's Wind Farm in South Texas. The transition is part of General Motors' goal of zero crashes, zero emissions, and zero congestion.
We're making significant improvements at facilities like GM Arlington in energy efficiency, reduction programs, things as simple as changing light bulbs to get more higher efficiency lighting, and energy reduction programs in a lot of our assembly operations.
Basically, while we still use the same wind power, we're producing what we call electric credits. So the power that we use is equivalent to about 104 million kilowatts per hour, which is roughly the equivalent of about the average power use of 10,000 homes.
Hernandez says the partnership will help GM reach its goal of having all of the company's accessibility plants powered by renewable energy by 2050.
Homelessness in Denton is on the rise. Kevin Bond is at City Hall with all the details.
I'm live at City Hall, where Monday Mayor Chris Watts signed Denton onto a campaign to help end veteran homelessness in Denton County. In a densely wooded area in Mack Park, only a few yards from McKinney Street, you can see there are still some remains of a once sprawling homeless community. Numbers from the Denton County Homeless Coalition show an increase of approximately 38% over the past year. Denton County is taking steps to change that by signing on to a national initiative to help homeless veterans find a place to live. One of the leaders of this movement is the Denton County United Way.
I will say, on our annual count, we've seen a bit of an increase since last year. Through our HMIS system, we've just started we've implemented a coordinated entry process that allows us to identify those households experiencing literal homelessness that enter into our system. Our Daily Bread is one of the front doors, we call them front doors, for that system. So our few shelters, a couple other agencies, they act as a front door. And so we all use that shared HMIS database. And if someone's identified as literally homeless, they're entered into this coordinated entry system. We track them, we track if they're still here, if they're still accessing resources and that sort of thing.
Many of the homeless, including the veterans, come to places like Our Daily Bread at St. Andrew's Presbyterian, a soup kitchen offering meals 6 days a week. These front door organizations help those in need with their day-to-day needs. United Way, in cooperation with local government and businesses, is working on their goals of having all homeless veterans housed by 2020. Our Daily Bread has seen a sharp rise in services rendered, providing a 40% increase in meals served and a 100% increase in other aid services provided over last year's numbers. For more information on the United Way, you can visit unitedwaydenton.org/homelessness. For NT Daily News, I'm Kevin Bond.
Coming up, UNT hosts a vigil for the victims involved in Pittsburgh synagogue shooting.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time. Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
After the shocking attack on a synagogue in Pittsburgh, Jewish college student communities called Hillels are holding vigils in remembrance of the lives lost in the attack. NT Daily's Jean Pinto is here to tell us what UNT's Hillel plans on doing.
Thanks, Kim and Dante. The Hillel at UNT will hold a vigil at the Library Mall on campus Thursday night at 7. The attack on the Pittsburgh synagogue was the largest anti-Semitic attack in U.S. history, killing 11 people and injuring many more. UNT students are standing in unity and think the vigil sends an important message of strength and love.
Abusers and people who commit these heinous crimes, I hope it sends them a message that nothing you do will be able to trump love.
The UNT Hillel says it hopes to educate the greater campus community on these tragedies and show that people can come together to find comfort and find strength in these trying times. Jen Weintraub, the Hillel Engagement Associate, says the vigil is significant for Hillel because the attack in Pittsburgh was an attack on Jews everywhere. The vigil is open for anyone who would like to join and stand together in remembrance of the lives lost in the attack. It starts at 7. For NT Daily News, I'm John Pinto.
Meanwhile, Robert Bowers, the suspect in the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting this past weekend, appeared in court Thursday morning for the second time this week. Bowers pleaded not guilty to the 44 federal charges against him and requested a jury trial. 32 of those charges Bowers is facing are punishable by death. Bowers is currently being held at Butler County Jail without bond.
Authorities have detected what they suspect to be a black box. Radar tracking has shown the plane had issues taking off on its way to Jakarta. CNN's Ivan Watson reports from Jakarta.
This is what's left of Lion Air Flight 610. Shoes and backpacks, fished out of the sea. Arranged for relatives of the 189 passengers and crew who were on board when the plane crashed. Epi Samsul Umar spots his 24-year-old son Mohammed's black sneaker. A heartbreaking moment of closure. Indonesian authorities say they've detected what they suspect is the underwater locator beacon for the flight data recorder, which they hope will yield information about why this brand new plane crashed into the ocean just minutes after takeoff. More than 40 ships and helicopters have been combing the Java Sea, searching for debris and the remains of victims. They're also trying to home in on the sound of the black box's beacon.
I hear the ping locator from the black box, like ding, ding, every 1 second, I think.
Authorities dispatched divers and a remote-operated submersible to depths of up to 35 meters or 100 feet, but the search complicated by conditions underwater. Data recorded by Flight Radar 24, a program that tracks commercial flights, shows Lion Air Flight 610's altitude and speed, measured here in blue and yellow, fluctuated wildly for 13 minutes until the plane smashed into the ocean.
But in this case, it appears that it was outside of the normal manual flight mode. There was something going on in that cockpit or something that they were battling against in the autopilot system.
The night before the brand new Boeing 737's final doomed flight, the same plane flew from Bali to Jakarta. Flight data shows early in that journey, the plane plunged nearly 1,000 feet in just 30 seconds. It was a moment that panicked passengers.
Just like you were in the normal condition, and suddenly there is a big hole, a really deep hole, and you just go down.
I scream. Everybody scream. And then, I just pray to God.
The deputy head of Indonesia's National Transportation Safety Committee tells CNN, investigators are looking at reports that an instrument malfunctioned on the plane the night before it made its final disastrous journey. Meanwhile, on Wednesday, Lion Air announced it fired its technical director. With the mystery of what happened to Lion Air Flight 610 still unanswered, distraught families of the victims have been left sifting through the rubble. Ivan Watson, CNN, Jakarta.
The investigation is still ongoing.
Google employees around the world walked out on their job this morning. The Google walkouts were to protest what many say is a lack of punishment for sexual harassment in the company. Workers from offices all around the world walked out at 11 a.m. local time this morning. These protests come after a New York Times article that came out last week that investigates years of sexual harassment allegations, multi-million-dollar severance packages for the accused, and lack of transparency over the cases. The Google CEO has voiced his support over the walkouts.
The iconic Cars and Coffee is discontinuing in the upcoming weeks. We have the details.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Recent rainfall is triple the average amount North Texas receives this time of the year. So far, we've had over 30 inches of rain. It's drenching the area and putting some building projects to a halt. This includes downtown Denton's construction of the new North Central Texas College campus.
As you know, we've got two different projects going on at the same time. One is the parking garage and one is the build out in the main building. There's been some rain delays.
Bosses, they've had 19 days of construction cancellation so far. NCTC is constantly troubleshooting for both projects. One worker says when it's raining, it's just too hard to work.
It's very difficult for the people. It's too wet. I do the concrete, the foundation.
NCTC has announced new completion dates. The garage is expected to be finished March 1st, and the build-out for the main building should be done by April 4th. Aside from the timeline delays, construction is going smoothly for the new NCTC campus.
So the build out is just mainly building in there for classrooms and putting the sheetrock, building the second floor. They're going to put a new second floor deck.
Classes begin here at NCTC Denton next fall. We're told to expect to see major developments on the construction site next week. The walls in the parking garage will be going up while the offices and classrooms will be getting framed out in the main building.
After more than 9 years at a local car enthusiast meetup will end. Plano's chapter of Cars and Coffee will have its last show on December 1st. The group met on the first Saturday of the month at Classic BMW in Plano for 9 years. In a Facebook post, the dealership said the quality of the cars in attendance had declined. The last two events for Cars and Coffee Dallas will be held Saturday, November 3rd, and on Saturday, December 1st. Big changes are happening at Dallas Love Field. A new parking garage opened today, Lot C. It adds 5,000 new parking spaces, raising the total of garage spaces to 12,000. Parking prices at Love Field are changing too. Garage A parking will cost between $2 and $15. Covered parking in Garage B will cost $9, and uncovered parking will cost $7 per day. All changes took effect today at noon.
Adults living with autism say a local program gives them independence. We'll tell you more about after the break.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help, and slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta try a little harder.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
UNT's women's soccer team is on a roll. Uh-oh.
Keep going.
The defending champions advanced to the semifinal round of the Conference USA tournament Wednesday with the win over Rice University. The 5-day tournament is taking place in Virginia and will wrap up on Sunday. The next game is this Friday night against Louisiana Tech at 6.
It all started 3 years ago. Families in the North Texas area needed a program for their high school graduates with autism. Autism resources aimed at school-age children wind down after high school, but 29 Acres is looking to change that. The local organization has a 2-year tuition-based transitional housing development program for adults 18 years and older living with autism. UNT works closely with 29 Acres. The university gives the organization a classroom for adults in the program.
What we work on is independent living skills and vocational readiness. They take classes here on campus at UNT.
They offer evidence-based practices that allow adults to be and feel more independent. The program focuses on self-development, living skills, and job training.
They are taking the Learn for Independence curriculum, and that curriculum has a proven track record.
This inaugural program launched in July and currently has 8 students. Chase loves the outdoors and aspires to be a technical writer.
I've definitely seen the change from being at home to being, the experience is definitely good. I've grown a lot in terms of being independent and efficient.
The 29 Acres students live in 2 houses in Paloma Creek in Little Elm, Texas. The program has taught them how to socialize, clean, and cook. Chase also enjoys making friends.
My favorite thing about 29 Acres is definitely being able to interact and grow alongside people that are similar to me.
Franny, another 29 Acres student, says she doesn't feel limited anymore.
Well, when we go to the grocery store, I've been getting my meds by myself. I've been going to a pharmacy and getting the meds by myself, which makes me feel like an adult.
Patrick says taking classes at UNT will help him meet his goal of creating video games.
I feel like UNT is the next step forward for me. I've been through online college and I never really got to experience the college life. And honestly, I feel like coming here will be a bigger opportunity to find new friends, to meet new teachers, to find out what kind of degree I want to go for next.
29 Acres broke ground last month on its academy that will house adults. Its anticipated opening date is next year. If you want to learn more information about the program, you can go to 29acres.org. Clear Creek Natural Heritage Center is having a Heritage Festival this Saturday. The festival will be celebrating the plants, animals, and the history of Clear Creek. The 2,900-acre natural area includes a bottomland hardwood forest, prairie, and aquatic habitats. The event is free and open to the public. Speakers include a master gardener and the Texas Critter Man, a local children's favorite. For more information, you can visit their Facebook page.
NASA celebrated Halloween Wednesday with a cosmic pumpkin carving contest, and a local Texas bar got into the spirit in a crafty way.
This is what happens when NASA puts on a pumpkin decorating contest for Halloween. Engineers at NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena, California, took part in the annual contest, and they did not disappoint. The rules were simple: no planning or carving during work hours. Engineers have to craft their creations on their own time. The grand prize for all this wickedly intricate work? Just bragging rights. The annual competition is now in its 7th year. NASA says it's a great way for engineers to bond as a team and flex their creative muscles. A Texas bar is getting into the Halloween spirit, Simpsons style. Nickel City in Austin disguised itself as Moe's Tavern from the iconic TV show, right down to surreal decorations inside and out. The bar even teamed up with local eateries to serve zany Simpsons-themed food, including Krusty Burgers, pink donuts, and even Flaming Moe cocktails. It's no surprise Simpsons fans are giving the tavern an enthusiastic thumbs up. Heck, even the ghoulish Mr. Burns would probably love it. Excellent. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
And that is our final story for Halloween. Thanksgiving is next, but of course, Christmas decorations are already out in stores. That's our time for now. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next time for NT Daily News.